Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. Hey, 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. Vets, I love you. You have a place here. In October, I'm going to start writing legislatures. I want to get some answers and try to get some more help and get more people involved with the 22 a day. And I'm going to ask you to join me in doing the same. We back the blue over here. We support Leo. Scab, how do you do that, son? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Well, listen, I had a good time testing this knife. I wanted to check the steel. One of the reasons that I love this knife so much, and I'm such a big fan of Work Tuff gear, is they are incredibly approachable. Zeke Manacho is the designer, and he has done all kind of help with me. He's reposted me on Instagram, and he's done all kind of stuff and gone out of his way, and he's answered questions that I've had. Anybody that's that approachable, I want to help out, and I want to try to promote them because they're awesome people, and they make one hell of a knife. Now, this is a test. I'm going to tell you a couple things. This K340, I'm incredibly impressed with. I think the only thing I've done over the past month is maybe strop it a couple times. Now, you say, well, Scab, that sidewall is pretty tough, and it is. But here's the other thing. I propped it up in this manner. I didn't want to be comfortable when using the knife. Situational stuff and life things that happen isn't always comfortable. We're not always in a good spot. We're not always in the perfect spot to use a tool. And that's what I wanted to do here. And of course, I'm going to cut right off camera because, cinematography isn't my stick, but here we go. Now, after doing the initial cut, I did move it down, and I just wanted to show y'all. Now, throughout this video, I want you to bear two things in mind. One is, this is after a month of hard use. And not abuse. I don't believe in abusing a knife. I don't think that proves anything, but hard use. And not doing anything to the blade other than stropping it. I do try to keep it oiled and maintained, but I'm talking about no sharpening whatsoever. Let's just see how this blade holds up. Let's see our edge retention. Let's see if we get any chips, any dings, anything like that. So far, now I stropped the knife, cut the paper just to kind of give you a litmus test of where we're at. If you're new to my channel, the way I set up my videos is simply this. I try to make them so you can turn off the narration, watch the video, and understand the capabilities of the knife. Now, when I say that, another thing that I always say, and because it's true, I am a novice at best. At best. So if the knife performs well with me, it's a good knife. This knife has performed exceptionally well. It's got like a 7.6 blade length, I believe, with like a 6.5 cutting surface. It's over 12 inches overall length. It's got a pretty forward cant on it, which I find incredibly comfortable. You see that choil right there in the blade. The handle, if the blade is 7 and it's overall over 12, that means the handle's over 5. That's perfect for me. I love the handle. I love the ergonomics. It's that Machine 3D G10. Incredibly comfortable. Now, I have a bigger hand. I have probably large to XL size hands. Plenty of room on this handle. Plenty of room. I can grip up on it for close in work. I can drop back for heavy chopping. Now, I used the picture-in-picture in this because I was in two different wood settings. One, out near Fort Scab Tongaroga, and two, over by the river. So you get a little more swampy, a little more moccasoon-laden over there. And I just wanted to show you a couple different things. The stuff by the river gives us those Florida vines that are the bane of my existence. People say, well, Scab, why do you like chopping the vines? Because they bounce and they have flex. And it's a good test of the knife. How does it handle the bounce? And I think as we go, you'll see that this knife handles it incredibly well. Now, And that's what I use kind of my picture-in-picture for. Let me say very quickly to my tree-hugging friends, dear tree-hugging friends, I am at heart a conservationist. The woods that you see me in now, in a year's time, will all be cleared and a subdivision there. I'm against that. But I bring that up because the owners let me go out there and test the knives. So I don't try to cut down pines and oaks and things like that, even though they're coming down. I try to cut down just hackberries and underbrush and things of that nature. So please leave me the hell alone. I appreciate you. God knows I do. I love you. Now, once again, you'll see old Scab going off camera there. That's by design, and I wished you could see it. It's phenomenal there. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Just bear with me on the cinematography parts. I will say this. I did some batoning there. And the reason that I keep showing it is this. I knew this part was off camera, but there was a knot there, and I really didn't want to stop and readjust. It blew right through it. The camp knife, or the field knife, I'm sorry, went straight through it. Handled exceptionally well. I keep wanting to call it the camp knife because JR got me this knife. JR sent me a camp knife to test, and that's the bigger version of this knife. So if I get a little tongue-tied, I'm sorry. This is the Nomad field knife. It held up exceptionally well. Now, in this video, we cleared some underbrush. The tree I chopped down the other day, the one that the owners had asked me to remove, I decided to use the field knife out there and just process some of this stuff. Some of it we'll use for the fort. Some of it we'll make punji sticks and spears for the neighborhood kids. That's always a treat and a thrill for them. And if I can help enhance their love of weaponry, well, what better source can there be? Now, in everything this knife did, it handled exceptionally well. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just really, really, really impressed. You'll see some later on, we do a little bit of heavier batoning with some firewood that I had bought actually from Home Depot, and it's the hardest shit in the world. It took about a jackhammer, but through all of that, through the heavy batoning, there was no chips, no dings, no rolls. Now, what I'm doing right here, just chopping a quick point on there, that's pretty basic, and I get it. But this is one of the tests that I really, really, really like to do, and I really use to get my druthers on a knife, my preferences on a knife. If I can hold a stick or a log in one hand and use the knife in the other without the stick or the log being secured to anything, if I can just hold it and work it, that's a major, major plus for me. That shows control of the knife. And I will say this, I had control of every aspect of this knife. I could drop my hand down in chopping to get a little better grip for a little longer leverage. I had control of the knife. I could choke up to do some close work. I had control of the knife. The 3D G10, dude, super comfortable in hand, unbelievably comfortable in hand. It allowed me no hot spots, or it afforded no hot spots. Very, very comfortable. And I tried to hold, when I do these tests, guys, and I want to touch base, again, if you're kind of new, here's the deal. I base my opinions, and that's just what they are, my opinions on a knife, by what's in my hand, what I can test. That's all I can do. The sample that I've bought, or I've been provided, or I've been given, I'm going to test that knife, and I'm going to be as honest with you as humanly possible. And again, novice at best. I'm not asking you to take, I don't sell these things. I'm not a salesman. That's not my goal. My goal is to show you what the knife can do, the capabilities of the knife in the hands of a novice. And I know some of you, again, that grew up on Wolf's Teats, up on, Highland Mountain there, and you're just bushcrafters to the core, could do so much better. Unfortunately, you're not here to show me, so I'm doing the best I can do. Now you say, Scab, where the hell did that come from? I don't know. But my point is this. The opinions that I give you are from what I test. there are some great knife reviewers out there, some outstanding reviewers out there, some that I'm friends with, and I will take their recommendations on trying a knife. I will not, and let me say this again, I do not sign off on a knife or push a knife based on what somebody else said. I love some of these guys with all my heart. And again, I've bought several. Donnie B all day, I've bought several, not only of his, but the Avispa and several others, the Higonagamis that he's recommended. But I sign off on them based on my testing on what I can do. And that's where I'm at on that. And again, I just want y'all to understand, what I'm telling you is my results, okay? If somebody else is varied, I'll gladly watch their channel, but I can only go by what I'm doing. That being said, would I recommend this knife? You're damn right I'd recommend this knife. I've recommended this knife for the month I've had it. And I want to say to JR, thank you so much, not only for this knife, but I made the announcement yesterday we're having a Hinderer giveaway, an XM-18 that JR graciously donated to the channel for a giveaway when I hit 3,000. Now, quick shout outs. Donnie B all day is marching to 10,000. He's over 7. Get behind him, support him, subscribe to him. My guy Joe from Steel Forged and Fire, my Blade Talk partner, subscribe to him. We're trying to get him to 1,000. Now listen, tomorrow we're having a live Blade Talk. We've got a special Blade Talk coming out. When it gets ready, I'm going to let Joe make that announcement. But tomorrow we're doing a live at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time with Big Red EDC. And I'm excited about that. Now, again, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, Joe and I with Blade Talk are going live with Big Red EDC. It's going to be epic, and I hope you will join me there. Now, back to the knife. This is the hardest firewood. I think Home Depot may sell petrified hardwood. And I'm going to tell y'all that my baton, my Bam Bam stick's about 4.5 inches in diameter, and I was slamming it up and down on this knife. I got no rolls, no chips, no nothing in the edge. It held up exceptionally well. When I first got the knife, I was messaging back and forth with Zeke. He's an awesome dude. He really is. And he's like, Scab, let me know what you think of that steel. We're thinking about moving some of my knives over to it. I'm not a steel guy. I'm going to be honest with you. When I say novice, guys, I'm being honest. I'm learning as I go. But even from a novice mindset, this stuff is incredible. Now, here's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to send it to my guy Mikey from Cerebral Ballsy, and I'm going to let Mikey sharpen it up and get his take on it. I'm going to use it and then let my guy DJ sharpen it up and get 2 professional sharpeners' points of view. But I can tell you this, when I got done with it today, I wiped it down, I took care of the blade, I stropped it and did some quick honing, and it sharpened just 5 minutes on a stone, and it was back to paper cut and sharp. To me, it's an absolute home run. I love Work Tough gear. I'm just being honest with you. Now, we did the Donnie B all day stab test. We did the Donnie B all day throw it at the stump test and the Donnie B all day drop test. Here, after all of this, and this is the order I did it in. These tests we're about to do are dead last. We're just making some curly cues here, and then we shaved up some polypropylene rope, or cut up some polypropylene rope, some paracord, and some nylon rope. So after stabbing 2 tires, after batoning through the world's hardest firewood, after chopping through vines and trees, after doing all of that, after cutting water hose, after doing everything we've done, this knife has held up exceptionally well. I'm thrilled to own it. I'm thrilled to do the review on it, and I'm going to tell you, it's back in my truck. It goes with me everywhere. This and the Preacher are my 2 ride or die fixed blades. They really are. Now, here's a little bit of paracord. Now, I've got another review on this knife where we do some of the same stuff, and that's what I wanted to hold to, kind of the, you say Scab, it's kind of the same. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see how this knife held up. To me, that says volumes about not only the design of the knife, but the quality of the knife. The maker of the knife, Work Tough Gear. Huge proponent of both. Well, listen, we got about 35, 40 seconds left, and man, do I recommend the knife? You damn right I do. It's an awesome knife. And I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow, Monday, for our live Blade Talk with Big Red EDC. My guy Mikey says it best. He said, Scab, never give up, never surrender, and everything will be all right. And Mikey's true. I'm Scab, you're not, and I'm gone, son.